Hey Eternal, how's it going?
Pretty good, in you?
I'm doing well. So, would you like to introduce our players?
Excellent, yeah. So, spawning in the top right corner of Eternal Empire, we have the uh, pink, pink Zerg, Hometowncrib.
And in the bottom left, we have the underdog for this tournament, Blue Terran Dougski.
Let's see what we've got in store, because Dougski, I haven't heard of him too much, but yeah, he seems to be the underdog, being gold player. So it's always fun to have some players of this caliber playing in the RSL.
Yeah, they definitely can give us some unique builds as well. I'm very excited to see what Dougski can bring to the table against HTC. Hometown's been a staple of the Risen community since the TeamSpeak years, the dark times, before the Discord.
Yeah, the old school player.
He's actually an IRL friend of Stillfly, so...
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, but in other news, we have Risen Stalix in the chat going, oh god, please, no, no, no. Can we get some Fs in the chat for Stalix having to listen to Eternal Cast?
So we have Hometowncrib going for a quick third hatch, I would say. It's I think he's going to play it a bit greedy, considering Dougski's a bit lower MMR compared to him.
Yeah, I mean, Hometown, if there's one thing he does, it's over-committal to whatever he's doing, right? So, we see the third hatch, we see it's greedy, so I expect nothing less than pure greed from Hometown for the rest of this game.
That makes sense. So we had the Dougski going for some scouting. He pretty much saw everything he had to see, except for the third base, you know? I'm actually wondering what Dougski's gonna go for, because in higher levels, Hellions are quite common, but he doesn't seem to be going for those. He seems to be producing a lot of Marines, so we might see some timing push with Marines.
He might be. This could just be, you know, Dougski being a little bit behind on his spending. We still could see that factory swap onto the reactor. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna see. And there's a second barracks coming down here. So, yeah, so definitely a bio play overall, but this could be for Widow Mines as well, you know. No, it's Hellions.
On the other side of the map, we have a Roach Warren being dropped, as well as a lair being started, so probably some timing attack coming out from Hometowncrib in the following minutes, because it's not that common to have a random Roach Warren for defense. So unless he's being forced into playing a Roach-based army.
So, what did you think of Revolt versus Reality?
It actually quite surprised me. I was expecting Revolt to come out on top. Game 1 was quite confusing. It was quite a spectacle, you know.
Yeah.
It was some really cool play from Reality going for the cannon rush. I think Revolt handled it pretty well. He didn't let it go out of control with the cannons, but I think he got stuck on one base for far too long. But game 2 was a bit closer. But I think he was a bit slow on the Immortal production, but overall it was a really good game from both players.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy it?
I think there were a lot of throws on both sides, to be honest. A lot of... It didn't really come down to macro for anybody, it came down to kind of like misengagements, where Reality just came out a little bit ahead. He had a little bit of extra cash left over and was able to go into upgrades in game number 1, but
I feel like Revolt was playing in a pretty scary position. He didn't know what Reality was doing. I mean, he didn't know he was getting into upgrades or immortals, and he just crumpled under the pressure.
Yeah, nerves seem to be a factor on both sides, which should wear off as we get farther and farther into this group. But oh no, this is gonna be the world's longest CC block from one Overlord, and I bet the Overlord survives. Yeah, it has speed. I'm gonna live. It's dropping more creep.
I mean, we have a third CC getting landed right now, so it's quite good. I mean, it's a good timing for someone of this caliber. He's not too far behind in workers, but he's hugely behind in army supply, which is going to be really hard for him to stop the incoming push from Hometowncrib that we were talking earlier.
Yeah, even more importantly than just the raw supply count is the fact that there isn't a single tank on the field yet here at the 7-minute mark, which can be really helpful on the high ground against these Ravagers, especially when you have a Viking out to poke the Overlords away.
One tank just got out, but it's not in position. At the very least, we have a planetary fortress, but it's going to get hurt by those Ravager vials. I think it's going to go down.
Oh no. Meal's a little bit late to the party.
The siege tank is getting sieged, but it's going to be seen by Dozers here, and it's going to go down.
Yeah. That one siege tank being out just a little bit earlier could have totally changed this equation.
I mean, Dougski is doing quite well. I think it was kind of cost effective for him to take this trade. He killed a lot of roaches and lynx, but he lost his command center, which is terrible.
Wait, how does Hometown have high ground vision of this?
That's...
Oh, wait. Oh, he has a changeling. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah. Hometown is hacking.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Vision hacks. Clicking through the fog of war.
So we're seeing Hometowncrib explode in hatcheries. He dropped one at 6 o'clock and... not at 6 o'clock, at 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So he's going to be macroing quite a bit. He's also going into Hive as well as this Pyre and 1-1. So upgrades are quite late in this game. What do you think about that?
For Hometowncrib?
For both players, yeah. I think
Well,
so.
okay, so Hometowncrib is going into a very early Hive. This is an insanely early Hive. So that was kind of his gas sink, and probably part of the delay for the delayed upgrades as well as the Rich Ravager push, but Dougski, I think, you know, looking at his mineral bank, looking at his gas bank, I think that's really a factor in a lot of what we're seeing here. He's never really gotten onto Hometowncrib's side of the map and damaged the Zerg economy at all, so Bile picks off the Viking.
Yeah, and we're also seeing the first drop on the map at the watchtower, which is going to be seen by the Queen and Lings. And I mean, we have a Hometowncrib with like a huge army with Banelings. It's going to be really hard for him when he decides to push, which seems to be about now. We do have 3 siege tanks on the map right now, so that could be really good against those Banelings and those Roaches, but there's not much bio on the ground.
No planetary to help hold this down either. The Lings do go a little bit far in front of the Ravagers. Banelings roll forward. A lot of them do get picked up. It was good micro for his level from Dougski. And the the siege tank on the high ground is holding. There is a second siege tank, but it's
Command center is going to go down, and behind that we have Hometowncrib going into the Greater Spire. We're probably going to see some Broodlords versing Corruptors, and he's going to morph them into Broodlords soon. It's quite hard for Dougski to do anything because he keeps on losing his third base and there's no real defense. It's just gonna be harder and harder for him to hold.
I do have to say, Hometowncrib here is a little bit overly confident. He keeps throwing away armies seemingly needlessly. Like, you know, he could be microing, he could be repositioning, he could be engaging from outside of the siege tank fire, but he's not really bothering to do any of that. And he's lost a lot, man. Hometowncrib is almost even with Dougski insofar as resources lost, but
you gotta ask those worker counts. I mean, 102 workers
yeah.
for Hometowncrib. That's that's more than TY, you know, and we don't see that often enough. So I mean, it's getting caught on the middle of the map by the reinforcements, and yeah, I mean, this is gonna be too much for him. He's got like triple the supply of Dougski. And crafters are joining the field, granting some high ground vision. There's 2 tanks on the field, 3 tanks. Not too sure if they're going to be able to help out. But I gotta say, Dougski's doing a pretty good job at, like, clearing out.
Oh no, he targeted his own barracks! So these siege tanks that could be pounding out damage on the Zerg are instead, GG
really
is called. Top right corner, as the pink Zerg, it's Hometowncrib.
And in the bottom left, we have the gold Terran player as the red pieces. It's Dougski. We have a really early SCV scout. Is it only for scouting?
Yeah, I was about to say, does Dougski proxy racks this game? I think it might be, well, no, there's the first racks at home. This is just an early SCV scout.
Maybe we're going to see his inner Mauru dropping a proxy additional racks or gas, or a factory, who knows? Let's hope.
Come on now, don't put Dougski down like that. He's playing a little bit more consistently than Maru, you know, it's really...
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry for Dougski comparing him to
I think Dougski has a better chance of beating the Zerg, given that he's not jet lagged, you know? Okay, he is gonna drop a Rex.
Oh. Well, that's, but it's gonna be immediately scouted by Hometowncrib, and he's gonna cancel the Rex.
Okay, well, that was short-lived. Proxy Rex there from Dougski. He's going to pull the SCV back home.
And he's going to add on a second Rex on his side of the map, not on the other side, you know? He realized that Maru wasn't good enough, so can't follow his footsteps.
Hopefully, he now channels his inner innovation, you know? It's...
So we have a bunker getting dropped. So Hometowncrib is going for something a bit less greedy than last game, where he went for a triple hatch opener. He's going for a standard opener, I would say, hatch first. Not getting a third hatch this early. But I gotta say, I think it's gonna hurt Dougski getting his natural base this late.
Yeah, so some words to Dougski, you know, it's really, really good to commit with your first Reaper. Try to, like, get a drone kill. If you can't, back it out. Try to delay the third, or, you know, just be annoying. Try to pick off the first creep tumor with a grenade, something like that. and then be confident in taking your first expansion, you know? On a map like 10, it's a little bit trickier, but most of the time you're going to be secure from early Zerg aggression. You'll have your first couple Marines out, and I think don't worry about the bunker until your second CC is done. And that'll put
Even
you...
at this level, I would say don't even bother trying to get a kill with the Reaper. Just bring it for scouting and...
Yeah, just shift-click
try
it
and see what
around the main, shift-click it around the natural, and then learn your reactions for what you see on the map, and that'll take you right into Platinum.
So we have a Marine scouting the third base, and he's going to stop for an Overlord. Coffee time.
This is a brave Marine. Look at this. Look at this Chad Marine. Oh my god. You fool!
I mean, he's going to see that there is indeed a third base, and yeah, he's dropping one eBay, and this looks like a stim timing attack.
So, if you had any words of a fortune for Dougski, you're a solid 4,700 Terran. What would you do in this scenario? So you see the Zerg has a third, he has about 7 drones on it, and he's going into roaches. What do you do as a Terran?
As the Terran in this position, I think he's got a solid opportunity for producing some tanks and doing a timing attack with stem and combat shield as well as +1. I mean, he's got the good setup for a timing push, but yeah, that's pretty much what I would be doing.
So, for anyone watching on the stream that's maybe a little bit lower league, or for Dougski himself, can you go into a little bit about what a timing push is? Like, what time that's supposed to hit the Zerg?
Sure. I mean, it really depends on what kind of pushes you're doing, because following what he did kind of put him behind, trying to proxy Rex before getting his command center. Yeah, so it's right now I think he should be spending all of his money correctly, and like he's got to go all in, kind of. So I think he should be hitting at like 6 minutes-ish with 3 tanks and Marine Marauder with stim and combat shield. That would be a really strong timing. That, I mean, if you're not aware of this timing coming your way, you're probably gonna crumble unless you have some, like, a ton of banelings and links. Because roaches are good, don't get me wrong, but roaches against 3 tanks, they melt. Especially this early in the game. And if I can say a comment to Dougski, playing really good, just make sure to produce workers at all time, because right now you're at 29. It's a bit hurting your economy.
So, we're seeing something interesting go down here at the 7-minute mark. Dougski is swapping Starport onto a tech lab as he builds a fusion core. So there's going to be a Marine Marauder push here. There are no tanks to back this up. There are no anchors of any kind. No Raven, no Widow Mines, anything like that to really hold the line for this bio.
But I gotta say, they're equal on army supply. So if he decides to hit right now, it could do a lot of damage, but he's on a cog. Like, there's a cog on him right now, because the more he waits, the more workers Hometowncrib is going to get, and the harder it's going to be for him. We already see 40 lings and 20 banelings being produced from Hometowncrib.
Yeah. Dougski does have armor on the field. I feel like +1 attack is a little bit of the stronger upgrade, but he will get the snipe on this 4th. Hot pickup into the medevac saves some... Wait, what happened to the...
The baneling hit him before.
Yeah, but there was a 3rd medevac. Wait a second.
Oh, got sniped by the bile.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, He got the 4th base, but at what cost? That's the question. And now we have a huge counterattack coming in. I gotta say, this planetary fortress is probably gonna help him in case of a massive push. That's 16 more banelings, making a total of 30 banelings.
That's 29 banelings now, Eternal.
Oh yeah.
28!
Oh shit. And here comes the banelings, and we got the battle cruiser out on the map. And there's only 5 queens, so...
Yeah, Oh, there's one unit that's gonna... Oh no. Oh no.
Oh. Have you ever seen some Ravagers killing a battle cruiser?
I have, but usually it's... Like, you just surround the battle cruiser with files, so if it moves in any direction, it gets hit. It's a lot longer of a process, but... luckily, Dougski can select a worker, hit the button R, and left-click, and he has a new battle cruiser for free. Isn't that incredible? Isn't Terran a wonderful race? So... Another barracks coming up for Dougski. BC under repair, a second BC on the way, and
That SCV is on a mission to heal this battle cruiser. He's alone. One-man job.
Just betrayed by the supply depot.
So we have an Ultralis Cavern as well as this pirate coming.
Oh, we have an elevator of the SCVs onto the low ground by the medevac.
And he's going to... Oh, there's a natural base. At the 5th base? Or 6th, maybe?
It always strikes me how lower level players, they don't have that raw mechanical skill built up yet, right? Which just takes, honestly, as much as I could give you practice exercises and whatever, it just takes thousands of games of play, basically. They come up with these ingenious solutions to get around that, like lifting the SCVs to the 4th so they get there faster. Okay, the BCs will, in theory, clean all this up, but Dougski's going to take a hell of a lot of damage before that can happen.
Yeah, and he's now at 5 workers against 80 Hometowncribs. I mean, there's still 2 BCs up, but there's 11 Corruptors underway. I would have loved if Dougski tried to be a bit more aggressive with his battle cruisers, because he's in such a terrible position right now. And he is gonna do just that, jumping at the natural base of Hometowncrib. With some Corruptors.
Aw, he's focusing the spore, but the Corruptors are dealing the real damage. BC1 goes down, BC2 goes down. GG is called. Hometown will face